Hello, ladies and gents. It's your buddy Patriotic Hemorrhoid again in second video of the day. And this video is on this brand new concept known as freedom of speech. You know, it's such a new concept that it's been around since the founding of this country. You know, it's such a new concept that it's literally the first thing mentioned in the fucking Bill of Rights, in the First Amendment. Freedom of speech. Then it goes on to freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom to gather peacefully, but I'm not getting on those topics, just on this magical thing called freedom of speech. You see, people seem to think that freedom of speech only applies to things that they agree with, only applies to politically correct things. And if you have hate speech, if you're talking hateful, violent shit about people, you don't have the right to say that. Or if you're saying racist things or blah, you don't have the right. Here's this magical thing that everybody keeps forgetting. Freedom of speech, not freedom to say what is preordained as okay and right and morally allowed. No. Freedom of speech. That's it. There's no in quotations. There's literally, you are free to say whatever the fuck you want to fucking say. Now, another misconception is that people practicing their freedom of speech should be free from consequences. No, you are free to say whatever the hell you want. If you decide you want to walk into a police department one day and scream out, "Fuck the police," well, guess what? You walked into a police department and screamed out, "Fuck the police." The cops ain't gonna do shit about it. They'll either laugh at you or say, "Okay, well, leave. Please leave." Like, that's it. Now, if after you have been asked to leave the premises, you are a pain in the ass and refuse to do what you have been requested to do by people of authority, seeing as how you are disrupting their workplace, and you start yelling and screaming and cussing and throwing shit, and you get tased and get arrested, well, that's because of the rest of what you decided to do. Not because you screamed out, "Fuck the police." If a white KKK member decides to walk into, say, Black Lives Matter, since I'm not entirely sure if the Black Panthers are still a thing, and I don't mean Wakanda Forever Black Panther, I mean literally the domestic terrorist organization, the Black Panthers. I don't know if they are still a viable thing, so I'm going to use Black Lives Matter. And I'm not talking about the ones that genuinely believe in what BLM was originally supposed to be, which was, hey, my skin color is different than yours, that doesn't mean my life is less important than yours. stop racist violence, which I still, to this day, fully support. And those, whether you are members of BLM or if you are like me and you refuse to be a part of that type of group because of all of the negative bullshit that is going on with the people taking a righteous group meaning and turning it into, oh well, we're going to protest, and by protest we mean we're going to riot in the streets, we're going to burn down buildings and businesses, we're going to throw rocks at people just because of the color of their skin. Yeah, no. That's why I don't associate with BLM, but I do support the meaning behind it. I actually genuinely believe that all lives matter until the person themselves makes it so that their life no longer has value as a human being by being a rapist, a murderer, a pedophile, things like that. Okay, now your life doesn't matter. But I'm not getting on that tangent. But say a KKK dude runs into a BLM group and screams out, "Fuck all these black people." He has the right to say that. Just like every single person there, especially the black people there, have the right to beat the fuck out of the racist, intolerant asshole who invades their group to say, fuck all of you black people, you suck. They have the right to whoop his ass over that bullshit. Any white people there that decide they're gonna join in beating this motherfucker's ass, go for it. Just for the love of all that is holy and unholy, don't kill the guy, because then you become the violent assholes and end up going to jail for murder. Whoop his ass, throw him out, end of story. Or, even more of a civil thing, call the police. Have him forcibly removed. Press charges on him for, actually no. If all he did was yell a racist thing, you cannot press charges on him because of this magical thing that this video is about, going full circle, freedom of speech. Just like if a black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, goes up to a bunch of white people sitting around at a table or whatever, or if they go into a KKK meeting and sit there and scream, fuck all you white people suck, blah blah blah. It's their legal right. They can say whatever they want. Now, back to the police thing. If you walk into a police department, scream out, fuck the police, whoop-de-doo. Now, if you walk into a police department screaming, I have a bomb on my chest and I'm about to blow this place up, yeah, you're free to say it. You're not free from the consequences of what you said. And the consequences for threatening to blow up a police department is you're probably gonna get shot by a lot of cops. By literally every cop that is in that vicinity when you threaten it is probably going to draw their gun and shoot you. Period. I mean, technically it's because of what you said, because you threatened to blow up a police department, but it's because of the threat of violence. It is because it has been done. Like the first motherfucker who sat there and screamed, that they had a bomb and they were going to blow it up and blow people up and all that shit. The first person to ever say that and do it probably didn't have anybody take them serious, because it's like, a bomb, what the fuck is that? But now, I mean, you can make a bomb out of fertilizer and some other shit, so people gotta be a little more wary, a little more careful. Now, that's literally the point of this video is, if you say something, you have every right to say it. Whether other people like what you have to say, whether other people agree with what you have to say, you have every right to say it. Whether you're right-wing, left-wing, centrist, no political affiliation, whether you're racist as hell, or if you're colorblind and all you see is the person, not the pigment, which is what I believe everyone should be, in a manner of speaking. I don't think you should judge people off of the color of their skin, but I also don't believe you should ignore a person's ethnicity, ethnic background, because either way is sitting there being insensitive. It's being insensitive to people's heritage or whatever, their culture. But at the same time, fuck being overly sensitive. Fuck, oh my god, so you're black, so you're automatically descended from slaves. No, a lot of black people have no family whatsoever that were slaves. Fact, little known fact, a lot of black people are descended from slave owners. And yes, that's a completely facetious smile. I am in no way supporting slave ownership, slavery. It should be abolished in every country of the world. So, why not, instead of bitching, moaning, screaming, complaining about something that has been abolished here in this country, and in most of the civilized world, how about you bitch, moan, complain, and try to abolish the very thing, slavery, that is in all these other countries? And how about not trying to bring people in from countries that believe that slavery is okay, and tell them that they can basically do whatever the fuck they want because you're being culturally sensitive? But that's another video for another time. So, basically, here's the thing. Either acknowledge that free speech is free speech. You can literally say whatever the fuck you want, but there are still consequences. Or shut the fuck up. Because, like, there is no argument. There is no, oh, well, you only have free speech as long as you have the freedom of speech, as long as it's in these there are no guidelines. You have the freedom of speech. That's it. Like, there's no room for error. There's no parentheses. There's no quotations. There's free speech. End of story. Can't really be more clear than that. So, either agree with it, disagree with it. Either way, shut the fuck up about thinking that free speech is limited only to your political view. Because it's not. And for everyone who sits there and screams that if you don't agree with me, then you're fascist, whether you're left or right wing, I don't give a fuck. because there are people on the left, mostly, screaming, if you don't agree with us, then you're racist, sexist, fascist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, whatever the fuck it is. And then there's people on the right that are like, if you don't agree with me, if you don't agree with my political view, then you're a fascist. No, fascist is, oh, you don't agree with me, so I'm going to silence you. So, those who are telling people that are trying to silence people's free speech because they have a different political view or they don't agree with them, they are the fascists. They are the ones pushing fascism, whether they're calling themselves anti-fascists or not. And yes, that is a very, 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 very big hint to all of you morons who actually think that Antifa are the good guys and are actually anti-fascist. Read the definition of fascism, then look at Antifa. Okay, so, fuck you all.